I'm going to have our amazing barn manager, Lindsay, now talk us through how we tailor a Thoroughbred's feeding program from when they're making a transition to the track to our program here in Florida. So Lindsay, tell us a little bit about, first of all, what a horse might be fed on the track, and then secondarily, how we're going to adjust them to a feeding program here at Copperline.
So what they're eating at the racetrack is not necessarily what we need them eating here.
So when we think about them first arriving here, the first couple of days, what are we thinking in terms of feed?
So slow transition is the best way. Not all of them will come with their own feed. So we have to kind of make do with what we have and get them on a feed program that is going to help them recover from their racing days and not necessarily give them fast energy, but to give them steady energy that they can manage.
And what about, the grass situation? How would you think that's going to affect a horse here in Florida?
So the grass here in Florida, it really depends on where the farm is. It definitely, when they have turnout and they have grass, they're usually a lot happier than when they don't have anything to eat out there. So I do recommend having a field with a little bit of grass, but they're not used to turnout. So you don't want to put them in a big lush paddock where they can have a lot of grass that they're not used to.
And how much hay and how often are we going to be feeding them hay?
Most thoroughbreds, it's been proven in studies that they develop gastric ulcers. So one of the biggest ways to help that is to have constant forage in front of them. So I would recommend having hay in front of them 24/7 and gradually transitioning them onto your grain.
And in terms of our feeding program for grain, obviously we work with Nutrina, but there's a lot of good companies out there. Who are you going to talk to when putting the program together? Is that something you feel confident doing, or are you going to reach out to somebody, a nutritionist or somebody from your feed company?
Yeah, so I feel pretty confident putting a horse on a new feeding schedule. I definitely will reach out to a nutritionist, talk to our veterinarian, see if they have any recommendations. And most thoroughbreds, when they come off of the track, their body score is lower than what we would want for a sport horse. So a lot of them need to gain a lot of weight, and they have to do that slowly.
And going from being on our farm for a few days to now thinking ahead to the months or years ahead of them, are we thinking that's going to stay the same, or how is that going to evolve?
So a lot of them are hard keepers. Thoroughbreds are typically hard keepers, which means that they need a lot of calories to keep them at a proper body score. It's not always the case. So when they come here after a few months, we would reevaluate, see what they look like, see if we need to adjust their feed and keep it the same, or take them off some feed and not have them keep gaining weight.
Well, there's a lot of ups and downs, with having a thoroughbred. Lindsay's seen it all. In the next part of this series, we're going to come back and we're going to hear some personal stories from Lindsay about her own off-the-track thoroughbred.